everyone, Thomas here from Thunderbolt Films, and today I want to share with you a short film that I never ended up making and never will make. A few weeks ago I did a video where I critiqued one of my first short films, Passion Never Stops. But now today I want to talk to you about something I'm not sure I ever really brought up or discussed here on this channel before, but I want to talk to you about a sequel that I actually wrote for it. Yeah, that's right, a sequel to Passion Never Stops. So it would have been called Passion Prevails. So basically the plot was set between around the time I graduated high school. In fact, I have the script right in front of me. The opening sequence was the graduation ceremony, so it would have had footage from my actual graduation. I think this idea actually came from Ryan, actually. So he kind of helped influence this script a little bit, which I kind of feel bad now that I never ended up making it. Which I'll go into later down the line. And speaking of Ryan, his character from Passion Never Stops would return in this one as well, and it would also feature his now fiance also in this film as a minor character as well. And this film would have introduced my mother, actually. And I didn't plan on having my actual mother play the character. In fact, the mother character in the script her name is Renee, which isn't my mother's real name. I won't say what it is, but so I feel I didn't want my actual mother to play it because I don't particularly. I've worked with family before, and it usually doesn't turn out well. And I want to make the best product I can. So basically it would have opened with the graduation ceremony, and then it would have cut to like a crane shot of me going up to my mother and hugging, celebrating the graduation effect. And basically there was a banter. I'll put a link to a PDF of the script in the description so you can read it yourself. And don't worry about spoilers because it's never going to get made anyway. So basically, me and the mother have back and forth banter between each other. Ryan comes up, we embrace, we hug, he's like, yeah, we did it, man. So, like, we did it in real life at the actual graduation. So then it cuts to a basement scene, which would be Ryan's graduation party. We have a little bit of, he and I have a little bit of dialogue. And then his girlfriend comes up. We talk about Dark Force, episode 1, which that was another time. This would have taken place around 2016, summer 2016, between May and August 2016 to be precise. She says, oh nice, what about a new documentary? Ryan and I kind of shrugged shoulders at each other. We were just like, we don't know, we don't have a few ideas now when we talk about the film festival and how that went through. That's a story for another day. Oh my god. We hear a loud break sound, and then Ryan goes off screen to deal with it, and then Michaela and I have a bit of conversation, and then it cuts to me in my bedroom working on pre-production for the short film. So then basically my mother comes in and says, and she asks about the film I'm working on, where he's going to start filming, and basically said, cool, this is how the line goes, cool, now remember, we have to go up to the college to fill out some paperwork and get you registered for class this Monday. And I said, right. And she says, when it starts, school comes first. And then I say, so I've been told. And then it cuts to us in a vehicle. My mother asked me if I'm excited, and I say, well, yes. What are you excited for? Well, the future, new beginning, that sort of stuff. Well, good. And she says this. And just so we're clear, there will be no failing. And I say, don't worry about it. And then my mother says, Renee says, how many times have you said that? It's just in high school, or even all of school, you didn't really take things that seriously, And I understand you didn't like it, or things didn't come easy to you. I mean, you're a smart kid, Tom, but you didn't always put forth a whole lot of effort. And then basically I retort and try to defend myself, and then it cuts back to me in my bedroom. Then it goes into a montage of me working my real job, which was at Big Lots at the time, and then it crosses into filming, actual Dark Force, and then yada yada yada. And then it goes to the bedroom interior. Clock reads 4:28 in the morning. I abruptly wake up. I take a few short breaths while rubbing my chest. Looks at his clock and is annoyed as hell. He tries to go back to sleep, but he can't. He pulls himself out from underneath the covers and sits in his chair. He takes out his phone and starts vlogging. I show an unaired vlog, or like a clip or something. I don't even think I have that clip anymore, sadly. It was on my old phone, so... Oh wait, actually, now I remember what this was. So basically, the vlog was basically, back when I did the production vlogs of the Dark Force Episode 1, I think that day I had gotten on. I woke up at like 4:28 in the morning, and I had gotten very little sleep and everything.
Today is the first day of shooting Dark Force Episode 1, so far, so good. So, today's a short day. Well, this is the only thing we're shooting this week. We start shooting today at 5, and it's about 2 o'clock right now. I can't believe that. It's so hard to believe right now. That's 2 o'clock. Only 2 o'clock. Oh my god. If you can't tell, like, I'm tired. I got, like, oh my god, what the fuck is going on with my heart? If you can't tell, I got, like, no sleep last night. So, I mean, I've been up since 4:30 in the morning. So, what? Oh shit. My camera just fell over. And my mic just fell off. Oh my. It's not going well.
Basically, it would have cut to an interior garage scene. Basically, would have cut to some behind-the-scenes shots of or unused clips from the footage we actually shot for Dark Force and everything. And basically, it would have intercutted back and forth between footage of actual clips, the green screen clips that we shot at the time, and then like new shots of behind the camera, behind the scenes angles that we were gonna do.
Recording here.
Anything I should do, or
Recording
just
here.
stand there?
Just don't go. Yes. don't go like.
I must the Jedi.
Okay. Yeah. There you go. You're good. You're good.
This is your communications tower, as well as supply base, 20 miles away from where you are.
Sorry.
I there was
just go from,
2 bars. I knew the line, but
just say this will happen to your base. Just go for that.
are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
You
I burped.
Yeah.
I had to come up.
This.
Okay, just do it again.
Okay.
I don't know.
You will find overpowering him will not be difficult.
You don't get wrecked.
At the end, he will.
So and then I say my goal to finish this film is October, and we'll premiere at a theater downtown. And then everyone's like, "Wait, what? Really? Are you serious?" And everything. And I wanted to do that for a while, so. And I say, "Yeah, you bet your ass I am. We're working too hard to let this thing go unnoticed." And Jake Goldfarb says, "I second that." So I continue to give him more directions and everything. So and I say, roll audio, rolling, speed, action. Then it cuts to me in my bedroom, and then I air another clip.
Okay, guys. So this is the end of the first day shooting. So far, so good. Hopefully it continues. I'm just going to keep this short. As you can tell, I'm pretty tired. I'm exhausted. It's the end of the day. So, yeah, I'm going to bed. So, yeah, well, see you guys tomorrow. I'll be doing some vlogs. I'll be doing some prop building and stuff tomorrow. So, and I've also got an job interview tomorrow at 11. So, that's cool. Hope it goes well. So, yeah, alright guys, well, that's it for today's vlog. Hope you enjoyed. Not much happened, you didn't see much, so, yeah, guys, I'll see you maybe tomorrow, hopefully. Bye.
So then it cuts to nighttime in a playground, where we shot a lot of the stuff for the fight scenes for Dark Force that never made it to air. And basically, it's just a bunch of back and forth trouble between us. I'll leave some links in the description where we go a little bit more into that. It cuts to another scene of another night shoot with Jack. Again, using more behind-the-scenes footage, and we would have filmed more scenes and everything. And then it cuts to me basically having a panic attack, which actually did happen on set. I tell the guys, "Oh, I'm having a panic attack, having anxiety. I don't know what to do." Jack says, "Oh, don't strain yourself, man. You know, it's not going to help you." And Dylan says, "Okay, well, let's call all night. We'll pick this up later." And I was like, "Are you sure?" And he's like, "Yeah, totally." Hey, thanks a lot I tell the guys thanks a lot for understanding, and I really can't speak enough for Dylan and Jack. You know, they're really awesome guys to work with, so very understanding. So then at around cuts back to me in my bedroom sleeping. I abruptly wake up having a panic attack. That also did happen. Cold water on my face. Then my mother comes in and is like, "Are you all right?" And I say, "Oh no, I'm fine. And then asked me if I had a nightmare, and I said maybe, I don't know. And then we had a lot of conversations, told to go back to sleep and everything. And I think this is a scene that I later added, because this is a second draft that I'm reading off of. I can't quite remember because it's been so long since I've even looked at this script. But I think I added this scene in because I feel like there wasn't enough scenes between my character and my mother, and the mother character. I felt like, and how the rest of the film plays out, I felt like the mother just wasn't doing enough. It wasn't portrayed like in the most realistic way possible, or to that degree. Again, I can't quite remember the full details. And then it fades to later, and then I do another vlog complaining like, "Oh my god, I don't know what happened." Then I step into the shower because I'm having like cold sweats and stuff like that. And then I go back to another vlog, and then I make a teaser trailer, which is the one I made for Dark Force, which I'll play it right now.
You will find overpowering him will not be difficult.
So then it fades to even later in the evening. I'm still working on this thing, and then Ryan walks in. "Hey man, what's up? Haven't seen you in a while." Been working a fuck ton, but it is what it is. So he sits on my bed. "So what's going on here?" And I say, "This is the timeline for Dark Force, the Adobe Premiere stuff." He says, "I saw that teaser trailer you posted," and then he says, "Dylan told me that what happened around last night, or the night before." And Ryan asks me, "Is everything okay?" And I says, "I don't know. It's just, I don't even get it. My anxiety's preventing me from doing what I love." And he says, "Well, don't strain yourself." And then I think we were going to go on a little bit off that and try to improv from there. So then it cuts to around 2 a.m. and then I start vlogging again. And I'm just like, "So guys, I don't know what to do. I'm afraid to go back to sleep because I'll probably have another panic attack. I don't know why this is happening. I don't know what to do." I then cut to a time lapse of the sun, and then I'm still working on things and I'm exhausted. Then transition to the next day with still not sleeping. So then at around 8 p.m. the second day, Thomas is still working on him. He's nearly passed out. He has a spoon in his hand at the edge of his chair, and he allows himself to doze off momentarily until the spoon drops. Ding wakes him up, and he goes back to work. He does this repeatedly until he can't take it anymore, and he doesn't have even the energy to pick it back up. So yeah, that was basically me almost killing myself not sleeping. The spoon thing, I think it's called a Newton naps. I remember Ryan Conley talking about this on podcasts. And basically, you take a spoon in your hand and you kind of just let yourself doze off, and then you drop it, and then ding, hear it, you wake up and get back to work. Then Thomas hears his mother walk into the room, and I'm like, "Oh, well, I'm busy," and then nothing's there because the door's closed. And then I try to go back to working, and then I see this little fairy thing dance around across my keyboard, fly up on top of my high school diploma, and then it disappears, and then all the lights in the room start flashing different colors. And when you start hallucinating, it's time for a nap. And then it cuts to me dead asleep in my bed. My mother walks in my room to see that her son is asleep, and she's concerned with me being out this early, but doesn't wake me up. So the next morning I wake up, very pale, dizzy, barely able to move. Take my advice, do not do that. Like, seriously, like, you don't need to take drugs or anything. If you want to get messed up, just don't sleep. Because like I'm serious, that will mess you up, and I can't do it now. You know, if I do it, I'm just like, you know, like, and I was sick for like a week after that happened. So then basically we cut to a calendar, and it whittles down to the last 2 days before college starts. So then on the last day before school, the night before, the clock reads 9:30. I look back at my screens, I turn them off, I go to bed. So realizing that I have to do this now. So cut to the next morning, I start vlogging, so it's almost 6 a.m. and orientation starts at 8 o'clock. Seems reasonable. But you got to remember, this college is 45 minutes away from where I live. And you have to remember, rush hour traffic. Oh, and the inevitable construction on the highway because Indiana. Now this is a business college, which that's all fine, but the problem is, I hold up one of my dress shoes. I gotta wear these. The tightest, most blood flow constricting shoes in the goddamn world. You try running across Fifth Avenue in Manhattan with a bunch of guys in tuxedos in these. It's a little reference to my choir days. Okay, then it cuts to me driving, and then I've got my GPS on, and then I'm a little panicked a bit, and then I start hearing this metal rubbing sound in my car, which basically at the time was my brakes going out. So then I arrive at the college, sit at the lecture hall, yada yada yada. And then the next morning I get up, do the same thing, and then I'm in the kitchen and I'm trying to like spread butter on toast, but my hand is shaking so badly from the anxiety, and then the Renee kind of goes boo, and then kind of jumps and everything. So, and I go, morning, Mom. She asks, so you used to mornings yet? And then I go, what are mornings? She laughs at her son's jokes, then proceeds to turn the sink on to do the dishes, turns back and notices her son's trembling hand. She isn't sure what he's doing. His stress subsides and spreads the butter. She goes back to doing the dishes, still thinking about her son, so that means she's taking a mental note of what's going on. Then it cuts to me driving, with basically, I have a death grip on the steering wheel, as if I'm about to rip it off, and then my brake light goes on, and that does not help him one bit. He starts to drift out, in and out of focus, and everything. He freezes, wide-eyed pale, his hands are trembling. And then, basically what happens on the interstate, and this is what actually happened. My brakes were going down, and it was really packed on the interstate, and then this Mustang comes in front of me, and then it was just a love tap. There was no damage or anything. So everything. Then it cuts to me in the classroom, basically just having a panic attack, looking at the clock, just waiting for it to tick by. Then the school day ends, and then I run out and drive home. And then basically once I get home, I'm in my bedroom, and this part didn't happen either. So this was just kind of like a climax for the film, essentially. The panic attack gets really, really bad. Then I end up on my knees on the ground, and then eventually I fall to the ground, door opens, someone starts to walk through, and then it fades to black. Then it basically fades back out to me in the hospital with my mother, with Renee sitting right next to me. And then she asks, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, I feel weird, I'm tired. And she's like, yeah, that's the medicine, keep you calm. She's like, what happened? You passed out, you had a lot of trouble breathing. What time is it? I got class. And she's like, no, don't worry about that, okay? And then Ryan comes into the hospital room. So I fall back asleep, and then my mother pulls Ryan aside saying, I need to talk to you. Renee and Ryan have a bit of a conversation about what happened and everything. Like, what did you know? What did you do? Everything. I'm sorry if I'm going through speaking in general terms, but you can read this whole thing in the descriptions. So then it cuts to me laying on the couch in the living room. Renee walks in. He says, hey, how are you feeling? It's like, pretty good, still tired, but holding out till later. I sit up and everything, so we need to talk about what we're gonna do and everything. And then basically that's when, at the point where we decided it'd be best for me to withdraw from that college and everything, which I did make a video about. So everything, I'll leave links to that in the description. So then cuts back to me in my bedroom, looking far more relaxed. I was looking at my black binder, which had the script for Dark Force, and then I get a phone call from Jack. And then I sit back and then start thinking about things, and then I started thinking about the anxiety and everything, and then that's basically what led into stigma anxiety, so and everything. And then it ends with me getting on Photoshop and everything. And then it cuts to me calling Ryan and everything, and he said, "Hey Tom, how you feeling?" That's what Ryan said. And then my final line is, "I'm good. Listen, I got an idea for a documentary, ... And then it basically would dolly over to my computer monitor that's had the teaser poster for Stigma Anxiety. Then fade to black, that's the end of the movie. So basically, that was Passion Prevails, or Passion Never Stops 2, whatever you want to call it. That basically was the sequel to Passion Never Stops. So I guess now it's a good time to get into why I never ended up making the film. Well, there's several reasons. Basically, in 2017, when we were originally planning to do it, 2017 was just not my year. It was a lot of things happened. I was very busy with the stigma and anxiety, and I was going through a lot of stuff with my family and my grandfather. Throughout that whole year, and that was also around the time where I decided I was going to lose a bunch of weight. That's when I started. Of course, it took a good while to get there, to get to where I am now. And then also that year, I was sadly going through a lot of depression. Throughout the whole year, it was just up and down, up and down, up and down, and so yeah, that's one of the reasons it never got made. Also the setting also changed because I'm in this office now, at the time where the script was set in, it was in when I still had my computer set up in my bedroom, so which it's not anymore. So basically that was the reason I never finished. And so with all that combined, I decided to eventually scrap the project. I would have loved to have done it. I think the script is pretty good for at least the subject matter material, but I don't have any plans to make it. I don't think I ever will, because like I said in the critique video I did, Passion Never Stops is a product of its time and everything, and even though I think Passion Prevails could have stood on its own, in fact that's kind of how I wrote it, there's no references to the first film. I feel like, again, I'm just kind of doing a follow-up to something that was in high school, and I'm ready to move on from that phase of my life. Still, I like the script, and I'd love to use elements of that script in future projects, which I'm currently developing. So, yeah, that's basically the thing. I am kind of sad to see it go and see the amount of work I put into that movie. It's just the reality of the business, the reality of indie filmmaking. A lot of stuff just doesn't get done, I don't really quite have a ratio. I was like, there's like a 1 in 5 chance that I'll do it. So if I plan to make something, there's a 1 in 10 chance I might do it. So that's just kind of the thing, things change, life happens, things get in the way, and that's pretty much what happened in this case. So yeah, so it's sad to say, but I'm looking forward to the future. I'm looking forward to how things are going and where things are going to go in the future. And yeah, that pretty much wraps it up for me. Thanks you guys so much for listening to me ramble. Don't forget I have links to the script and other videos in the description, and make sure to follow me on all my social media, and make sure to head on over to ThunderBoltFilms.club. Thanks guys, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.